Choices by Z. Martin.
Right, left, or middle?
Two gleaming rows of pointed teeth shone through the darkness, barely moving as the words slipped through the veil of my unconsciousness. I shook my head, trying to make myself more aware of just what the hell was going on around here.
Again, Mr. Miles. Right, left, or middle? Choose quickly. Time is a factor.
Right? Left? Or middle? What is going on? I don't understand. What are you asking me? Two milky white orbs appeared above the teeth. I could feel their gaze upon me, even with no discernible pupils.
Quite simple, really.
Their gaze shifted towards a tier of doors with no markings, each one the same as the last.
You have 3 minutes to make a decision, Mr. Miles. Right, left, or middle?
What's behind the doors? Why are you doing this? Please, just tell me!
2 minutes 45 seconds, Mr. Miles.
The thing's teeth and eyes never changed or showed a glimmer of emotion. I could feel an oppressive emptiness all around me. No light anywhere in this fucking abyss, aside from my captor's face. I wanted to run, but those teeth kept me rooted in place.
1 minute, Mr. Miles. I suggest you choose quickly now.
And what if I don't? Then what? With no perceivable movement, I could tell he was smiling, a flame glistening in his milky white eyes. His teeth separated, showing off every needle-thin point.
I grow tired of waiting, Mr. Miles. And waiting makes me famished.
Left. I choose left.
Good choice, Mr. Miles. Now please proceed to the left-hand door.
As if on cue, my legs unrooted themselves and started for the left-hand door. Pure dread crept through my body. I wanted to run, shout, scream, and bite any bit of defense I could muster, but I couldn't. Those teeth crushed any fight left in me. We arrive at the door, and my captor pushed it open.
It's been a pleasure, Mr. Miles.
I stepped in the middle of the room as the door slammed shut behind me. Pure white walls glared back at me. No light was hanging from the ceiling, yet the walls were bright enough to make me squint. I don't understand. What do you want? The words were torn from my lips, replaced by a guttural scream as barbed spikes shot through my feet. I tried moving them and let loose another howl as the barbs tore through the surrounding flesh.
Simple, Mr. Miles. I wanted you to choose. And choose you did. 30 minutes, Mr. Miles. That's roughly how long it should take for you to bleed to death in this room. That is, unless you want to speed things up a bit by struggling.
My pulse quickened, stomach turning sour as bile rushed up my throat to spread across the ground. The only thing keeping me from collapsing to the floor were the barbs placed through my legs, holding me rooted in an upright position. Why? Just answer me already.
Well, I guess this room does give us some time. We could have a little chat as we wait for that pesky blood of yours to drip out.
The milky white eyes surveyed the pooling blood hungrily. My captor let out a soft purr from deep within his smoky form.
Choices, sins. Imagine just how much pain you've inflicted on others. Think about your life. Think about the hurt you caused. Does this start to feel like justice? You hurt people. Some major, some minor. Isn't it fair that you now get to spend eternity with me?
His teeth spread into a hungry grin, eyes dancing over the blood freely flowing from my feet.
Eternity with me, where we get to act out choosing a different door, followed by more pain.
My head was getting light, the feeling in my legs fading as the blood left them. What? What do you mean, eternity?
Oh, simple, Mr. Miles. After we finish in whichever room strikes your fancy, you are restored. Oh, with your memories reset back in the main chamber, where you pretend to choose once again.
What kind of sick place is this?
You were religious. Do you believe in a just loving God? Maybe this is hell. Maybe the only love God has for you is suffering. Never-ending suffering. Of course, that would be his justice. Think about it. This is the same entity that would kill his own son in a gruesome way to pay for a crime he didn't commit. Maybe, just maybe, it's all a lie. Maybe there is no justice. Maybe the very idea of you choosing is a lie. Maybe we do this because I'm hungry, and the pain adds to the flavor.
Black spots were forming at the edge of my vision. His once smoky form stood solidly next to me now.
I was hoping you would straggle a bit more, but to be honest, this is one of the longer punishments. And as I've said before, waiting makes me so very, very hungry.
His teeth stretched into an impossibly large smile.
This is now the 375th. I've come to discover that the blood picks up a sweet taste if the punishment takes longer. And I have several sweet teeth to satisfy. Mr. Miles.
I spat in his direction, my phlegm landing pitifully several inches in front of him. My last act of defiance caused a joyous laugh to burst forth from my captor's mouth. The world faded out, and I saw, in my final seconds, those teeth rush towards my falling body.
Right, left, or middle?
Two gleaming rows of teeth shone through the darkness, barely moving as the words slipped through the veil of my unconscious.